Hello guys, today I want to show you two plugins I use. Well, it's not much as a plugin, it's more like what they emulate. The first one is a tape machine and the second one is a bus compressor. The way I mix is that these are the two things I start with. This is my two first plugins. Before I start with those plugins, I always make balanced mix with only the faders and no plugins. I actually use a lot of time trying to balance the mix without plugins, because then the job later gets a lot more easy. I start with the plugins and I mix into them. If I did it the other way, this wouldn't make any sense to me, because all the flavors and everything inside this tape machine comes when you mix into it, not if you just snap it on at the end. And I've had a lot of discussions with friends of mine and colleagues who said, why are you using the tape machine? It doesn't make the mix any better. It's just changes the sound to something that you don't want. And I agree. If you put on the tape machine at the end when you're gonna finish, it doesn't make any sense, because then you're gonna change the sound. But if you put it on from start and then you mix into the plugin, then you will get the magic. And also the same goes for the bus compressor. So these are the two instances I always put on. So let's see. If I take away all the plugins, like this, and let's hear how it sounds. Okay. So then I put on the tape machine and I adjust it while listening. So this is what I liked. So it gives a bit more volume, but it also gives me some warmth and tightens up the sound just a bit. So this was how we started. And then I went for a bus compressor. And this also tightens up the sound much more. And here I always go for slow attack and relatively fast release. And you can see I only have 2 in ratio. And that's not much. So these are the two plugins I mix into. Okay, so here is all the plugins.
Pressure of your mind won't help you. If you take it with a smile, a gentleman's right to feel pressure.
So these are the plugins I mixed into, and I'm going to turn them off. You will hear a bit of a volume dip.
Pressure of your mind won't help you. If you take it with a smile, a gentleman's right to feel pressure. And love's right.
So the sound change. that is because I take off the plugins and I have mixed into the plugins. That's why it's a huge difference. But if I just put a plugin like the tape machine on now, the difference won't be that big.
When you can't take pressure off your mind, won't help you.
Because I wouldn't have any control on what it's doing. It's just doing something. But when I mix into this plugin, I have every control on what's happening, because everything I do on all these plugins will affect this plugin. So that is why you have to mix into tape machine plugin and also mix into a compressor. So the first two things always on my mixes are these two guys. I don't have to use any of the Slate plugins because I can use something else, but this is what I prefer, and you use what you got. So when I show colleagues of mine and friends of mine why and how I mix, they're like, oh, you mix into the plugin. And then they come back and say, wow, that made a huge difference. So what I want to say, these are two plugins that are emulated on hardware. So you have to use it like how it's supposed to be used. So the tape machine always come last. Right before that you had the Busch compressor. And the Busch compressor was in the consoles in the middle. And then you sent signal from all the channels into the Busch compressor. So if you use it just like how it was meant to be used, you will see a huge difference. So that's it. That's what I wanted to tell you today. Please subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in another video.